SeatGeek is the ticketing app for fans like the high five strangers got.
It's desperation time for Richmond kickers. Last year's USL League One regular season table toppers sit outside the playoff picture with 9 matches to go. It's desperation time for Richmond kickers. Last year's USL League One regular season table toppers sit outside the playoff picture with 9 matches to go. For North Carolina, a run of red-hot play has them leading the league largely because of their away dominance. In 2023, it's Richmond NCFC Part 3, urgency versus excellence. Richmond against North Carolina FC. We welcome you on this Saturday night to legendary City Stadium. I'm Ken Levicka. Here on ESPN Plus, USL League One table, there is North Carolina 4 points clear of Union Omaha. Charlotte Independence at 36 points. Northern Colorado just 2 weeks ago was at the top. They're starting to free fall. Then there's Richmond. They were at the top of this table a year ago at this time. Now they are sitting 5 points back of that coveted 6th spot in the USL League One standings. Richmond is going to need more from Ryan Sierakowski. Sierakowski 2 goals this season, including a goal in a 3-2 loss against Chattanooga. That was last weekend. Sierakowski in the 48th minute able to get the tally, and he is the Richmond Times-Dispatch player to watch. Richmond still licking its wounds from that defeat. For North Carolina, as of late, they can do no wrong. They're unbeaten in the last 9, and contributions from this man, Garrett McLaughlin, have certainly helped. He's NCFC's Richmond Times-Dispatch player to watch. McLaughlin has been very strong alongside Anderson and Mensingen and this extremely formidable North Carolina attack. McLaughlin able to score in the 54th minute in the 2-1 victory over Greenville triumph last weekend. Richmond needs points. North Carolina needs to stay atop the table. How will this play out? We'll find out. Richmond kickers, North Carolina FC. It's USL League One on ESPN Plus.
SeatGeek is the ticketing app for fans like the high five strangers got. Game-winning interception. First down. Just a nice, solid tackle. If you're in arm's length, you will be swapping skin with this extrovert. You see, he knows SeatGeek got him a great deal on tickets, so he can focus on what he does best, smacking palms. SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
So we've decided to sell the house.
Oh, yeah? Who's your realtor?
Well,
home for sale, home for sale. Over here, guys, over here. Only $10.
Where do I find comps? What is encumbrance? How do I escrow?
Here's what I found for Scarecrow.
actually, I've been meaning to ask who you and Paul worked with.
Welcome to Royal New Kent Golf Club. Designed by world-renowned architect Mike Strantz, Royal New Kent's a one-of-a-kind Irish-style golf course located 20 minutes east of Richmond, Virginia. Royal New Kent was featured in Golf Week's top 100 public courses in the country. Hidden behind grassy knolls and hand-stacked rock walls, each hole offers several playing options to fit a wide range of abilities. Visit RoyalNewKent.com or follow us on social media for more information on tee times and rates. Remember, come to Royal New Kent Golf Club to Golf Ireland in Virginia.
We would not have a business today if it weren't for the support of the many, many people within the Richmond community. To me, we're working as a team to enhance the quality of life for all residents.
It's about being the best that you can be. It's about enriching the lives of people in your community. There's a reason why we have the tagline Nourish, because it's really about nourishing the lives of the people that work for us and the people that we serve. That's what the UCrops brand stands for.
The players and our referees walk out onto the pitch here tonight in Richmond, Virginia. Richmond Kickers, North Carolina FC in a pivotal USL League One matchup presented by the Richmond Times-Dispatch. And let's take a glance at the starting 11 tonight for both sides. And we will go ahead and start ourselves with the home side. Richmond Kickers, Darren Sawatsky, the head man. And you look at this starting 11, Sierakowski, Terzaghi, Johnson, no problem scoring goals from this side. It's been, well, consistent play in the second half, and it's been the defense. Landon Johnson will make his first appearance, his first start, rather, for Richmond Kickers in 2023. Terzaghi, of course, 10 goals this season, the back-to-back Golden Boot winner and MVP in USL League One. North Carolina FC, here's John Bradford's 11 tonight. Only one change from the 2-1 victory over Greenville last weekend. Jaden Cervania will start in the midfield. Everything else is the same. Brooks Thompson in goal for a 5th time this season. And then Olex Anderson, as well as Garrett McLaughlin at the top of the formation. Anderson, 11 goals. He is second in USL League One behind Trevor Emmon of Northern Colorado. Well, Richmond Kickers have 9 matches left, and they need points, points, points. North Carolina FC, just saw them in their huddle. They just need to keep things consistent and stay at the top of the table. They have a 4-point advantage as we hit the home stretch of the season. Our referee, Gabriel Ciampi. And there is Rafa Mensingen for North Carolina FC, former Chattanooga Red Wolf. But a pickup he's been this season for John Bradford. There's the whistle, we're underway. Richmond Kickers desperate for a victory. North Carolina FC, they are the targeted now as we head towards the waning weeks of the season, and they sit atop the table. So glad to have you alongside with us on this Saturday night. Historic City Stadium. I'm Ken Levicka here in Richmond, Virginia. Richmond comes into tonight 6 victories, 8 defeats, 9 draws. They are 9th in the table, 27 points. Coming into tonight, they are 5 points back of the final playoff spot. That's where Greenville sits. As for North Carolina, unbeaten in their last 9, 12 wins, 4 defeats, 5 draws. That's 41 total points in the table. An early corner for North Carolina. Problems clearing it, and it finally makes its way outside the box. A brief reprieve for this besieged Richmond Kickers back line that has struggled a vast majority of the season, and the early pressure from North Carolina FC is thwarted. There's Akira Fitzgerald, USL League One second team a year ago. This season just shy of 59% save percentage. Richmond, what a difference a year makes. Same story for North Carolina. Richmond at this time last year sat first place in USL League One. They would finish the campaign in first. Coming up the right side, Summersall. A left-footed shot blocked down. Out of the feet of Mensingen. Mensingen, he'll fire, and that sails into the seats. But North Carolina asking questions in the opening moments. Keys to the match presented by CarMax. Richmond use home field advantage. Only 3 victories at home this season for Richmond Kickers. That is a large reason why they sit outside the playoff picture. As for North Carolina, just keep things consistent. They are the best second half team in USL League One. They are the best away team in USL League One. Stay consistent, those trends. They'll come out of tonight with points in the table and maintain a healthy lead at the top of the USL League One standings. Well, I mentioned Richmond Kickers. They finished the regular season first last season, the regular season title winners. And now they sit 9th in mid-August. North Carolina, they finished last the previous 2 seasons in USL League One. Here they are, 4 points up atop the USL League One table. Three and 5 this year for Richmond. That is just not typical of this side that for the last few seasons has made City Stadium, along with this vociferous fan base, the toughest place to play in USL League One. North Carolina, they have been aces away from home, 6-2-2. Half of their victories have come away from Cary. That'll trickle on to Brooks Thompson. And the man on loan from Philadelphia Union 2 of MLS Next Pro will wave everybody away and distribute. Thompson making his 5th appearance in goal. And he has been needed. He has done a nice job. Nearly 69% save percentage. And our first foul of the match. We'll take another look at it. A bit physical from Simon Fitch, who has started and appeared in every match this season for Darren Sawatsky and Richmond Kickers. Richmond is still trying to figure out what in the world happened last weekend at Chattanooga. Terzaghi scores in the, check that, Bentley scores in the 43rd, Sierakowski scores in the 48th, and you're feeling good, up 2-0. But then Richmond conceded in the 56th, 72nd, and 78th, an implosion in the second half. And that led to another head-scratching loss for Richmond. The Bon Secours injury report. Ethan Vanacore-Decker out for Richmond. Holiday, Navarro, Pekka out for North Carolina. Holiday's injury, the reason why Brooks Thompson getting big run in goal here for North Carolina FC. 84 degrees at kickoff. Just a beautiful evening here in Richmond. Not much humidity to speak of. Light wind, perfect conditions. And the timing couldn't be better for this one because tomorrow here in Richmond, so it's be a high of 93, and then Monday, a high of 97. So we're fortunate that we got the cool end of this weekend here in the Commonwealth of Virginia. Fitch on the ball for Richmond Kickers. On to Zaka Moran. That rolls out of play for a throw-in. Select is the official match ball supplier of the USL League One and many elite leagues throughout Europe. Visit www.us.select-sport.com for the latest Select product specials and more. Select is the player's choice. It's rolled on back to Fitzgerald. The 36-year-old veteran goalkeeper in season number 5 in a Richmond Kickers shirt. Some press in the back here from North Carolina, making life difficult, and now Richmond finally able to alleviate the discomfort. Long ball over the top, and nobody to chase, and it one hops on to Thompson. North Carolina, they are unbeaten in their last 9, and that span 5 victories and 4 draws. They have won 4 of their last 5, including the 2-1 victory against Greenville. Garrett McLaughlin and Perez with goals for North Carolina. And it looked like, as of 3 weeks ago, as if Northern Colorado, as a North Carolina player hit the deck, the far side. You see him down. Northern Colorado was rolling. They were unbeaten in 12 in a row. Now they've lost 4 straight. And there's a foul. As McLaughlin ran right into the back of Nathan Awney. The cameras were able to get a glimpse of what happened at the top of the screen. I'm not really sure if there was much contact up top. It involved Nil Vinyals of Richmond. Either way, the referee decided to play on, and none of the assistant referees decided to get involved. So apparently no harm, definitely no foul, and we're not even sure if there was contact. There's Vinyals involved again in another physical altercation. That time, a foul is called. Raheem Summersall went for a ride, nearly somersaulted along the touchline. Vinyals, the player of the month in the month of March. Before things began to get real sideways for Richmond kickers. Heavy expectations coming off their regular season title a year ago. And they are in danger of missing the postseason for the first time in 3 years. They got to really get going. 5 points back of that 6th and final playoff spot. North Carolina on the attack, and a corner reserved after Maldonado put it off of a Richmond defender. It'll be Jaden Cervania to handle the duties, the former Birmingham Legion man. He has a goal this season, but he'll be asked to distribute here. Not a ton of room in these corners at City Stadium, capacity 6,000. Built in 1929, one of the great American soccer venues. Cervania goes near post. This is headed well out of play and onto the awning behind the goal of Akira Fitzgerald. Now, North Carolina has definitely looked the most dangerous side here early. The chase is on for this. And it's delivered out of play, and an attacking third throw-in for the home side. At the top of the box, turning, shielding. Johnson did well. Nice composure, man making his first start. That ball, however, was not what Joao Gamero was looking for, and it floats right on to Brooks Thompson. Richmond only having 3 victories at home in this 2023 campaign is perhaps the most confounding aspect of their season. The other confounding aspect of their season, what in the world happens to them in the second half? Richmond is a very solid +5 in goal differential in the opening 45. That has not been the issue. The problem has been a -9 second half goal differential, which is the worst in USL League One. Richmond is only 3 victories, 3 defeats, 2 draws when leading at halftime this season. You find a way to hang on to a lead in 3 of those 5 non-wins, and Richmond is in prime position for the postseason at this point. The difference between a team outside the playoff picture and the team at the top of the table, North Carolina, same scenario, leading at halftime. Well, North Carolina, 8 victories, no defeats, 1 draw when leading at half this year. That right there tells you all you need to know about why these two sides are where they sit in the USL League One table. Nelson Blanco delivers it up the near side. Looking to be evasive was Alex Anderson. He's played off the ball. And it's delivered back to the midfield and sent right into the attacking third once again for North Carolina. Richmond still trying to navigate through North Carolina's press. North Carolina has conceded first in each of their last 3 matches. That was well done by Richmond kickers. When asked about that this week, John Bradford said, yeah, it's concerning, but it also shows we don't panic. We keep our heads. And that has absolutely been the case. North Carolina conceding first has meant really nothing over the last 3 weeks or so. John Bradford, 3rd-year man. He, under all indications, will lead North Carolina back into the USL Championship next season. That was announced last week. Kara McLaughlin, first teamer last season in USL League One. 5 goals, 6 assists this season for surging North Carolina. He has scored twice against Richmond this season. These two sides have played nothing but bangers here in 2023. I mean, it was 10 days ago when these two sides played to a 2-2 draw right here at City Stadium. And Richmond got a 96th minute equalizer to pull a point out of it. Oh, this trickles free, turning, firing, but it's blocked across the touchline. A lot of pace on it from Gustavo Fernandez, who decided to let it rip, but Richmond doing some desperate defending. Cervania sent it low. That was not well dealt with by Michael Hornsby, but Nathan Awney was there to impede the shot's path from Fernandez. Cervania, dangerous delivery, and it's in the back of the net. And for the first time in 4 matches, North Carolina scores the opening goal. Alex Anderson. Anderson able to blast it by Fitzgerald. That's his 12th goal of the season. 1-0 to the top side in USL League One. Boy, has Cervania looked extremely dangerous on set pieces. And he puts it right on the head of Anderson, who was making the horizontal run, unmarked, and 1-0. How about that for a trend breaker? If you're North Carolina, we were just speaking about them conceding first, and that's become a regularity. I'll say goodbye to that run of 3 straight matches. Trailing 1-0. And now Richmond's really gonna have to start digging in. They have not had a lot of the ball here early. And unable to get on the end of that long ball was Ryan Sierakowski. Another big crowd here in Richmond The disappointing season for Richmond Kickers has definitely not affected the attendance. This is certainly one of the best home field advantages, not only in all of USL League One, but in domestic soccer as well in this country. But I'm sure there will be, if fortunes don't improve, a deep dive into what went wrong for this side at home in 2023. As Richmond has not offered up much resistance here in front of this sensational home field advantage. This will roll out of play. Olex Anderson, he is the goal scorer. He is now within 4 goals of Northern Colorado's Trevor Ammon, who looked to be running away with the golden boot. Cinch it up, lock it away. But with 9-10 matches left to go, it is conceivable that Olex Anderson can make a run at this thing. There's a foul against North Carolina FC. That was Gustavo Fernandez. Here's Simon Fitch. Fitch impeded. Delivers to the middle. Patience for Richmond. Johnson had it placed back on his right foot and pops it right on to goal for Thompson. Terzaghi was making a late run, but he was nowhere near goal. And Thompson able to collect. Well, Terzaghi has a whole lot of work to do for Richmond if he wants a 4th straight Golden Boot, 4th straight MVP. He is 6 back of Ammon. Still a sensational season by any standard for Terzaghi. It's just that Ammon's been, for a lot of this year, on such a prolific goal-scoring tear. Anderson clutching at his back. Looked like the knee of Dakota Barnathan came up and made contact with an uncomfortable Anderson. 16th minute set piece goal for Olex Anderson. A corner headed past Fitzgerald. And this is going to be our first card of the match. And it's North Carolina's David Garcia, who is shown yellow from Gabriel Ciampi.
North Carolina FC number 24, David Garcia, in the 21st minute. That's a yellow card to Garcia. Fans hold up the yellow card from the White Claw purchase at the premium bar. White Claw is
Garcia came hooking across with his left foot, and I don't quite know the protest there from Garcia, what the case could be to not have a card shown. Gabriel Ciampi was very quick to the pocket. Gabriel Ciampi, by the way, I have called several matches with him as the head referee. He definitely has himself a particular style. Not that the referees that consistently work in USL League One don't, but Ciampi, he's got the hair, he's got the headband. Well put together style for Gabriel Ciampi. Kudos to him. North Carolina FC, 4 victories, 2 defeats, 3 draws in the USL League One history against Richmond Kickers. They were foes in the USL Championship as well back in 2018. But I mentioned the bangers this season that these sides have played. The last time out was 10 days ago, 2-2. That 96th minute equalizer for Hornsby to give Richmond a home point. Back in May 17th, in fact, North Carolina, a 3-2 win over Richmond. There have been 10 goals scored in now just over 200 minutes of total action between these two sides this season. That's pretty good stuff right there, high entertainment value. Speaking of, Olex Anderson. Look at him just plow through defenders, try to push it on to McLaughlin. Couldn't find a path, and then sliding contact on that near side. Cervania took the contact. He did not take the worst of the aftermath. Now it's Dakota Barnathan. Made the tackle and then came up a bit gimpy. Cervania helping him up. Long throw in, sidewinding into the box, headed out of the area. Up at the top, unmarked. Anderson trying to volley it onto himself, and he wins it back. Left-footed shot just wide. And Akira Fitzgerald is furious, wondering where is the desperate effort from his defense. How is Olex Anderson winning that ball again? And I don't blame him. I mean, if you want to look at the biggest issue for Richmond this year, it's that. I mean, look at Fitzgerald just beside himself. And a corner on the way for Cervania, who already has an assist, his first of the year off a corner. And here he goes again with a left-footed in-swinger. He has been extremely dangerous on set pieces here tonight. Now, we've only played 26 minutes. Cervania near post again, and they did it again! But the flag is up. It's an offside, it appears. Gustavo Fernandez thought he had 2. And instead the flag goes up. This was the exact same ball from Cervania, just different head. And it's waved off by the referee. It is really difficult to tell based on our angles. Who was offside? This is played forward. And that was an extremely opportunistic defensive play by North Carolina. A run was being made into the box. And it was held up by Mikey Maldonado. Fernandez will let this roll across. Oh boy, we're gonna have a corner delivered to Richmond. I don't know who would have been off. It definitely was not the goal scorer for Gustavo Fernandez. North Carolina, they still believe they should be up 2-0. There's a corner for Richmond trying to pull themselves back into this match. There's not been a lot on the attacking side from Richmond kickers, who really have had no issue scoring goals this season. This is a bit better here from Richmond kickers, at least staying on the ball. Long throw into the box. Collected about 35 yards away, delivered back in. Chested to the edge of the box, knuckled to the middle. Now it's airborne. Vignoles. He's fouled. Did it happen in the area? It's a handball against North Carolina right at the edge of the box. And a dangerous free kick is coming. The protest is on from McLaughlin. It's not going to matter. That was perilously close to a penalty. It's chested down, headed high up into the air. And there you see it off the bicep of Fernandez, arm extended. And this is a glorious opportunity for Richmond. The wall is going to be set up about 8 yards in front of Brooks Thompson's goal. And now a yellow is shown to North Carolina, compounding the problems. Big spot for the young 21-year-old goalkeeper for North Carolina FC. Richmond kickers looking to draw level. On the approach, through the box, and it could not be touched on by Terzaghi. It was deflected, and Thompson falls on it. It was hit into the wall. It found a path through. Terzaghi was there. North Carolina was protesting for an offside, but Terzaghi looked like he was on. If he could have gotten a better toe on it, it would be 1-1. So some drama starting to develop here past the half-an-hour mark. Ken Levicka with you, City Stadium in Richmond, Virginia. Thanks to an Olex Anderson goal off a corner. It's North Carolina FC 1, Richmond kickers 0, a 16th minute tally, the 12th of the year for Anderson. And North Carolina leading the USL League One standings coming into tonight. They have the lead on the scoreboard against a Richmond side that is desperate for points, and 3 of them. Richmond in the last 5 matches, not a single victory, 3 defeats, 2 draws. That winless streak goes back 7 matches for Richmond. And then North Carolina has been on it the last 5, 4-0-1, unbeaten in 9 in a row. The longest unbeaten streak this season, USL League One, Northern Colorado's 12. If North Carolina can win tonight or draw, this would start to really flirt with that number. Richmond, after that free kick, has watched North Carolina assert itself once again in the attacking half. Cervania. North Carolina 37 goals on the season. That draws even for best in the league team goal total with Northern Colorado and Tormenta. This to the middle of the area. Anderson sidewinds it well over goal. And he is beside himself. He couldn't believe that that delivery found its way all the way to his right foot. And he put too much air on it. That was a magnificent ball. Anderson was anticipating McLaughlin getting a head on it. Never happened. Anderson did well to adjust his body, but was never on good enough balance to challenge goal. Here comes Richmond gliding into the attacking half. Boy, would it be good for morale if they could find a way to break through. It was already a situation where Richmond really needed 3. But if they can't even get 1 tonight, then you can start thinking about shutting the lights down on a playoff appearance, and that is played too heavy. And Brooks Thompson will send a goal kick away. ESPN Plus, it's where you're watching us tonight. Don't miss a minute of the action in 2023, whether your club's on the road or at home. Catch nearly every second of USL League One action on ESPN Plus, the home to the USL, La Liga, the Bundesliga, UFC, and more. Sign up today at plus.espn.com. That's ESPN Plus. Quick throw in here for Richmond kickers. Joao Gamero. On to Simon Fitch. He has started and appeared in every match this season for Richmond kickers. 24 is the number tonight. Gamero, nice ball. Through the middle, and a free kick coming for Richmond. That was well played. Gamero laid it off perfectly to Sierakowski. Took the contact from Christian Lou Young. And a promising set piece here for Richmond. Sierakowski was hunting for the contact the entire time, and Christian Lou Young obliged. Gil Vignoles, Zaka Moran are on it. And it'll be Vignoles, the Spaniard. Lobs this to the middle. And it's collected outside the area by Hornsby. I don't think that's where Gamero wanted to go with that header. And now look out here if you're Richmond. That looked like it could have been a developing counter opportunity for North Carolina. It's won back by Richmond kickers. And then a foul is called. It looked like incidental contact. McLaughlin went down in a heap. And Sierakowski pleading his case, but it won't matter. It almost looked like McLaughlin, very similar to in basketball, the player taking a charge in the backcourt, just lined himself up to draw the offensive foul. And he got the whistle. More waves of pressure coming for Richmond. They've once again awoken in the later stages of this opening half. Vignoles. Vignoles, nifty. Tried to deliver it to the middle. He had Terzaghi camped out there, never found him. Now the counter coming. McLaughlin trying to hoof it, but Hornsby won the ball, but he misplayed it. And it'll be a North Carolina throw-in. What a wonderful job John Bradford has done He spent well over a decade as an assistant with North Carolina. 2 different iterations of the club, several different leagues. And now in his 3rd year at North Carolina. After back-to-back last place finishes, 21 and 22, he has his team surging. They are well connected. They're stubborn, they're creative. What a year it's been for North Carolina. Long ball into the box, handled there by Moran. And a deeper throw-in coming here for the visitors, the lead team in USL League One. Another long throw-in headed out of trouble. And North Carolina right back on it. 3rd meeting of the season between these two sides. 10 goals combined. It was a 3-2 North Carolina win in Cary, May 17th. And then back on the 9th of this month, 2-2 draw. A late equalizer for Richmond. Hornsby, 96th minute, after he was charged with an own goal to give North Carolina the lead in minute number 60, right at the hour mark. Richmond would go on to lose in spectacular fashion 3-2 at Chattanooga after enjoying a 2-0 lead. North Carolina, a victory over Greenville, thanks to goals from McLaughlin and Perez last weekend. Terzaghi can't slide his way onto it, and then it caroms off of Landon Johnson and out of play. Johnson, his 5th appearance of the year for Richmond. This is first start, as I mentioned earlier in this half. Came out of the Atlanta United Academy. His brother Ty is in the Richmond Kickers Academy. This is one in the midfield, but Johnson a bit heavy on that touch. So far, Olex Anderson accounts for the only goal of this Saturday in USL League One. Johnson fairly unsure on the ball, and it nearly created a dangerous opportunity. More problems for Landon Johnson. North Carolina's just swarming him. He is not sure on the ball, and now it leads to a free kick. In the 13th minute, in Statesboro, it is Tormenta and forward Madison 0-0. Coming up about 10 minutes from now, Union Omaha and Chattanooga Red Wolves. And then later tonight, Northern Colorado and Greenville in what is a massive matchup for both sides. Northern Colorado has gone from 1st to 5th in the matter of 2.5 weeks. They've lost 4 in a row. Greenville hanging on to that 6th spot. This is a long shot that is well off the mark. And then Central Valley Fuego with a little USL League One After Dark from Fresno. They have Charlotte Independence making the long trip across the country. Is something percolating here for North Carolina. The cross, kneed down, and then Fitzgerald mixing it up with Anderson. Able to allow his defense to gather itself. A nutmeg, but then a foul to the man who delivered the nutmeg, Rafa Mensingen. It's well done by Mensingen, but then he comes across, makes contact with the head of Simon Fitch, who recovered well. And Akira Fitzgerald, I mentioned that he came together with Anderson, and I've got to think this is the reason he's on his back, and Anderson is going to help him up. And Akira Fitzgerald looks to be okay after a little sip of water. We'll see just how together they came. Blanco delivered. Anderson and Fitzgerald, and now it looks like just a little bit of contact with the midsection. Front of the boot or bottom of the boot of Anderson. Nothing that was purposeful. And those two veterans handshake it out, and it's game on. And we do have a goal in Statesboro. Forward Madison is on the board thanks to Cheney in the 12th minute. So things are heating up on this Saturday. A big slate of action in USL League One. We had a match last night, a derby, 1 Knoxville, 1 Lexington Sporting Club 0. Knoxville is knocking on the door of the playoff picture. Does not stay in play. It'll be Richmond to throw it in. Still no indication yet on additional time here in this opening half. We think it's going to be brief, and now we were just told 1 minute. 1 minute of added time, so that's about as brief as it can be. At halftime, stick with us. We will give you highlights from last night's thrilling 1-0, 1 Knoxville triumph over Lexington, and take a look at what was a phenomenal weekend last weekend in USL League One. That and a whole lot more. Highlights of this one at numbers as well. Anderson looking for a second. Anderson, tough angle in front. It's cleared off the line. McLaughlin was lurking. And Richmond fortunate to remain down just a goal. Anderson, a driving run as he blew by Awney. And at the last moment, Barnathan came flying in to keep it off the foot of McLaughlin, who would have simply had to tap it in. This likely the last kick of the half. Advantage North Carolina, Mensingen. Right-footed in-swinger. Headed down. Problems on the clearance, though. Finally, the job is done. That was sloppy. The referee looks at his watch. And the referee says that's it for the opening half. North Carolina looks every bit the side that came into tonight leading USL League One. Olex Anderson, his 16th minute goal off of a perfect corner service from Jaden Cervenia, and that is the difference at halftime. North Carolina FC 1, Richmond Kickers 0. Halftime coming up here from City Stadium. This is USL League One on ESPN+.
Health. Suddenly that word seems more important these days, as it's consumed all aspects of our lives and made our universes feel smaller than ever. But at Bon Secours, your health has always been our top priority, and we're staying as committed as always to personalizing the right care for you. Because whether here or from home, we believe your health care should always revolve around you. Bon Secours, primary care for the universe of you. Visit bonsecours.com/primary care to connect with the provider today.
Hi, I'm Megan Mack, president of Prospect Blue.
And I'm Jess Barnes, Director of Business Development at Prospect Blue.
Prospect Blue is a staffing and recruiting firm headquartered right here in Richmond, Virginia. We serve the Mid-Atlantic region and beyond.
With the labor market experiencing historic shortages, Prospect Blue is here to help companies attract and retain key talent.
With strong relationships in the corporate, financial, legal, and medical fields, we are in a unique position to connect employers with job seekers.
Simplicity halftime. Richmond Kickers, North Carolina FC. I'm Ken Levicka. We welcome you back to Richmond, Virginia. Home stretch of the USL League One season. What did the highlights look like last week and last night? Jack Edwards takes a look at them here on ESPN+.
We had a 6-game Saturday last week. Let's kick it off with Charlotte hosting South Georgia Tormenta. Here in the 8th minute, Trace Orumbuyu going to pick out Joel Johnson. He picks out the back of the net. A perfect start for the hosts. They take an early 1-0 lead over Tormenta, and they would like to double it. Hector Acosta over the top. Miguel Ibarra, just clever. Sees the keeper off his line, lofts him with the left foot. The chip is good. The lead is doubled. 2-0 they lead in the 20th minute. Mukwele Akale, though, he'd have a response. A brilliantly shaped left-footed shot. Makes it 2-1. Cuts that in half. Just on the doorstep of halftime, though. A comeback killed off. Nick Spielman at the back post. Heads back Joel Johnson's corner. Makes it a 3-1 game. Pedro Fonseca would score a penalty later on. Just consolation. Final score goes 3-2 in favor of the hosts. Now, North Carolina, they're hosting Greenville. Going to be a ball lofted in the box. Greenville attacking here in the first half. Some headers back and forth. Just dueling forward on the edge of the area. Aaron Walker will come across it, and he'll pick out the main man, Lion McKinnon. His shot picks out the back of the net. They take a 1-0 lead in the first half on the road, trying to take points off the current league leaders. In response, though, there's going to be a shot from distance. Venomous saved, and the rebound by Garrett McLaughlin put home. Equalizes in the 54th minute. 54th minute, it's 1-1. This is the 56th minute. Going to be lobbed into the box, not on the initial one here, but Luis Perez brings it in and completes the comeback with a brilliant left-footed shot. A 2-1 lead. They stay top of the league entering into this weekend. They're staying hot with a 2-1 comeback win at home. Now, Chattanooga, they're hosting Richmond. We're going to see some late first half action. The main man, Emiliano Terzaghi, receives it in the area. Going to bring it towards the byline, and a brilliant pass. Picks out Matthew Bentley. They take a 1-0 lead just on the doorstep of halftime for Richmond. They take the lead on the road. Then they double it other side of halftime. Ryan Sierakowski heads it home. They've got a 2-0 lead on the road, trying to pick up some points and maybe a late season playoff push. In response, though, Rupapa Mensah, he picks it up and he buries one into the bottom right corner from distance. It's a 2-1 game now. That was the 56th minute. 16 minutes later, again, Rupapa Mensah's header onto the bar. The shot on goal. Richard Renteria, he leaps highest, heads it towards goal. It's a 2-2 game, and Javon Marsh, he's going to complete the comeback. 2 goals down, up 3-2. Chattanooga wins it against Richmond. Massive 3 points for them to earn at home. Now, final game of last Saturday, Northern Colorado Hailstorm hosting Union Omaha. This first penalty scored by Joe Gallardo puts that one into the back of the net. Now, in response, trying to stop a losing streak is Northern Colorado. It's going to sit up nicely for Lucky Oprah, and his shot coolly placed in the back of the net makes it 1-1 in the 38th minute. Again, another penalty. This time, JP Skiers puts it away, makes it 2-1. A pair of penalties in the first half makes it 2-1. Now Connor Doyle, his corner in the box. What a hedger. What a header by Pedro Dolabella. Puts that one in. The insurance goal for 3-1. It was a vital one because searching for another one later on in the game, Northern Colorado would find another one. They're going to work their way into the box, cleverly picking out Irvin Parra. His ball picks out Lucky Oprah, and he's got a brace from left back. Bring it into a 1-goal game, but it's not enough in the end. A 3-2 win for Omaha on the road. And now, that was some games from last weekend. Both Knoxville and Lexington played, but then they played in the Barrel Brawl round 3 on Friday. This is now from yesterday. A ball switched out wide by Lexington. Gio Calixto, that's a high boot. That's a red card. They're down to 10 men now for the rest of the match, 39th minute onwards. It's still 0-0 though. Second half, 60th minute. Angelo Kelly's going to pick it up, and he knows they're down a man. Doesn't matter when he can place a shot like this into the top right corner. They take the 1-0 lead, and they take the barrel brawl. Maybe a late playoff push for Knoxville. That brings you up to speed with USL League One. News and notes on the other side of this break.
Are you ready? Ready for more of the game you love? Ready for more players and more teams? Ready for more stadiums, for more fans in more cities? This is a different league. The USL Super League. Built for the future of women's soccer, bridging the journey from youth to pro, connected to the global game, and bringing it all closer to home. Are you ready?
We all have goals. But let's be honest, most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
I mean, yeah, let's talk about today where I'm going to
roll it down.
I am.
You don't need a car to listen to Sirius XM. You can listen anywhere. You know that, right?
What? Kevin Hart's Laugh Out Loud Radio.
Kevin, you could use your phone.
What? What?
Alexa, play Kevin Hart's Laugh Out Loud Radio on Sirius XM.
What?
This is how I know you're getting old. I guess that was it.
What?
USL League One news and notes. Halftime, North Carolina FC 1, Richmond Kickers 0. International duty for Alexis Cerritos, called up to the El Salvador national team. He's in training camp. He went there earlier this week. As far as returns are concerned for Northern Colorado, a League Two champion in camp, Danny Robles, re-signing with Northern Colorado Hailstorm. He was part of the League Two title with Ballard FC. And the player of the week is forward Madison's Jaden Onen. Team of the week, USL League One. There is Onen and two players in action tonight on last week's team of the week. You've been watching Nils Vigneault's Richmond Kickers, Garrett McLaughlin, North Carolina FC. USL League One scoreboard. It was North Carolina 2, Greenville 1 last weekend. Chattanooga, that come from behind victory over Richmond 3-2. Last night, Knoxville 1, Lexington 0. And right now, nearing the half-an-hour mark in Statesboro, 1-1, Tormenta and Madison. Forward Madison has actually just gone on top in the 26th minute. Courtesy of the player of the week in USL League One, Onen has made it 2-1, forward Madison. How about that for up to the second scores? Upcoming schedule, Union Omaha, Chattanooga tonight, 8 o'clock. 9 o'clock Eastern Time, Northern Colorado and Greenville. Late night, Central Valley Fuego plays host to Charlotte Independence. Midweek, a big one, Greenville and Union Omaha. And then it's Tormenta, Northern Colorado in the nightcap of that midweek. 1-0 North Carolina over Richmond Kickers. More halftime on the way. USL League One on ESPN+.
The ticketing app for fans like the High Five Strangers Guy. Game-winning interception. First down. Just a nice, solid tackle. If you're in arm's length, you will be swapping skin with this extrovert. You see, he knows SeatGeek got him a great deal on tickets, so he can focus on what he does best, smacking palms. SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
So we've decided to sell the house.
Oh, yeah? Who's your realtor?
Well,
Over here, guys, over here. Only $10.
Where do I find comps? What is incumbents? How do I escrow?
Here's what I found for Scarecrow.
actually, I've been meaning to ask who you and Paul worked with.
Welcome to Royal New Kent Golf Club. Designed by world-renowned architect Mike Strantz, Royal New Kent's a one-of-a-kind Irish-style golf course located 20 minutes east of Richmond, Virginia. Royal New Kent was featured in Golf Week's top 100 public courses in the country. Hidden behind grassy knolls and hand-stacked rock walls, each hole offers several playing options to fit a wide range of abilities. Visit royalnewkent.com or follow us on social media for more information on tee times and rates. Remember, come to Royal New Kent Golf Club to Golf Ireland in Virginia.
Health. Suddenly that word seems more important these days, as it's consumed all aspects of our lives and made our universes feel smaller than ever. But at Bon Secours, your health has always been our top priority, and we're staying as committed as always to personalizing the right care for you. Because whether here or from home, we believe your health care should always revolve around you. Bon Secours, primary care for the universe of you. Visit bonsecours.com/primary care to connect with a provider today.
North Carolina has the 1-0 advantage after 45 minutes. We welcome you back to City Stadium on a gorgeous Saturday evening in the Commonwealth. And let's go through highlights from the opening half. How did we get to 1-0? Well, we'll tell you in a second, but here's a little bit of a teaser. There was a service from Jaden Cervania that turned into a goal-scoring opportunity. Now go ahead and mark that, because there's Jaden Cervania creating a goal-scoring opportunity. A beautiful corner to the near post, and it's disposed of by Olex Anderson, his 12th goal of the season in the 16th minute. Now, Richmond would have a glorious opportunity, a handball right at the border of the box. It was Gustavo Fernandez. The free kick trickles through the wall. Terzaghi tries to get a toe poke on it, but could not get enough on it. Brooks Thompson able to keep it out of the back of the net and keep it 1-0. Close call there for Richmond. Halftime numbers, 11 shots for North Carolina. They do have that tally, 2 of them on target. Richmond, 4 shots. 1 of them has found Brooks Thompson. That was the one you just saw. 61-39 possession for Richmond in the opening half, but not a ton of danger compared to North Carolina when they had the ball. 2 yellows for North Carolina, no booking yet for Richmond kickers. There you see Akira Fitzgerald stalking back out onto this City Stadium turf. North Carolina has been automatic when leading at halftime this season. 8 victories, 0 defeats, 1 draw in the 9 matches that they have led at halftime. They are a perfect 5-0 when leading at halftime away from home. So there is a lot of trend working against Richmond kickers here in week number 22. Richmond is going to have to find a way to do something that no one has figured out yet this season, and that's come from behind on North Carolina in the second half. This was not the position that Richmond wanted to find itself in tonight in front of a big crowd. It's been more of the same, having issues at home in a must-win match. Gabriel Ciampi restarts us in the second half as Richmond kickers begin the quest to try and find a way to break down North Carolina. The table toppers with the 1-0 lead after 45 minutes of action. City Stadium, Richmond, Virginia. The lights starting to take effect here in the twilight hours. Ken Levicka here with you. So glad you're hanging out with us on ESPN+. Richmond came into tonight 9th in the table. The top 6 go to the postseason. They were 5 points out of the playoff picture coming into the evening. and they find themselves down starting the second half. 6 victories, 8 defeats, 9 draws on the year for Richmond. We'll get another look at this here. Cervania was hit along the back heel. North Carolina, 12 victories on the year, 4 defeats, 5 draws, 41 points, 4 points clear of second place Union Omaha. And they find themselves in real time 7 points up in the table. Union Omaha is in action tonight. In the last 8 matches, Union Omaha and North Carolina FC have tallied 18 points in the table. Both have been prolific, and Union Omaha had a real rough go of it in the month of June, and boy, have they recovered in a massive way. They look like the J. Mims version of Union Omaha. This stays on the feet of Sierakowski. This will be a throw-in for Richmond. Darren Sawatsky resigns himself to the official's call. It's been a frustrating year for Darren Sawatsky after pushing all the right buttons last year. Richmond soaring to a regular season title. Good effort there from Nel Vinyals, but he's finally dispossessed, and this is launched back into the defensive half of Richmond. That high wires the near touchline, and the throw-in for North Carolina. North Carolina is a plus 10. 10 goals. They have not conceded a single goal in the opening 15 minutes of the second half this season. No matter home or away, North Carolina has been dominant coming out of the locker room. They are a plus 10 and haven't conceded a single time in the opening 15 minutes of the second half. The second half mastery has been a sight to behold. North Carolina is plus 8 goal differential in the second half this season. That is the best mark in USL League One. This is delivered into the box, and was it tipped by Fitzgerald? The answer is yes. The referee says it's a corner, but Fitzgerald made contact. Cervania doing dangerous things again. And we'll see Fitzgerald, I don't know. I don't know if he got a fingertip on it. It's going to be a set piece for North Carolina. Made its way just outside the 6-yard box, but it's put up and over the goal. So yeah, North Carolina plus 8 second half. That's the best mark in USL League One. They're 8-0-1 when leading at halftime this season. A perfect 5-0 with a halftime lead away from home. Here's Nel Vinyals. Look at this run from Vinyals. Turns, surveys, distributes. Pushed on by Fitch. That cross is blocked away. Did it stay in play? No, it's going to be a corner. Good action there from the 16-year-old Landon Johnson to earn that corner. Johnson has had his ups and downs tonight in his first start for Richmond Kickers. Hornsby in swinging corner to the middle. No issues there for Garcia. He's able to handle that without an issue, and back to work goes Richmond. Vignoles floats this. Collected just outside the area. Good ball to the post. And it's going to be a goal kick as it's sailed wide. Sierakowski was in the vicinity, as was Barnathan. That sailed just a bit off of Hornsby's left foot. The runs were just a bit early. That was more like it for Richmond. Nice contribution there from John Bradford, getting himself involved. Christian Lou Young into the attack. Cervania has been very impressive tonight. This is his 16th appearance of the season. And the 21-year-old is going to have John Bradford forced to consider him most nights. Cervania has been exceptional. Lively on the ball, physical, precision passing. Long throw-in. That's one of the trademarks of this North Carolina side. One back by Richmond and blasted away. Cervania is a Puerto Rican international, 6 appearances and a goal for the national team. He's only 21. Oh, this is a great ball. Low shot, it took a deflection, and Anderson has a second. Olex Anderson, a brace, making 13 goals on the season. 2-0, North Carolina, their 11th goal in the opening 15 of a second half this season. They are dominant out of the locker room. The buildup was there. Phenomenal ball by Mensingen. And Anderson from a tough angle deposits it by Fitzgerald. Masterful touch. It took the deflection off of Awney. And North Carolina finds itself in complete control. 16th minute and 53rd minute for Olex Anderson. Mensingen with his 3rd assist of the season, and that was an absolute dime. Now Richmond really has work to do. Richmond has now conceded 24 goals in the second half of this season. That is far and away the worst mark in USL League One. And they're now a -10 in the second half this season. Just mind-boggling issues in the second 45 all year long for Richmond kickers. And North Carolina is just compounding the second half despair for the home side. You just wonder who is more complete in this league than North Carolina, both on the attack and defensively. And I suppose if you want to get into the minutia of exposing North Carolina, perhaps it comes in goal, where your number one is injured. You have a youngster on loan in goal for you in pivotal moments here as of late. Is that going to be the case come playoff time? But as far as things in a 10v10 scenario, who's better than North Carolina? There you see the foul called on Landon Johnson, and he strikes the turf in frustration. There is the young goalkeeper, Brooks Thompson. It's played out of the back calmly and proficiently. McLaughlin did well to win that back. Chested by Anderson. Is a third developing. Mensingen. Anderson, and he crossed it right on to Fitzgerald. Richmond desperately trying to get out on a counter, and that is denied by Summersall. Sirius XM can't watch the match? Turn on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access, Tuesday nights at 7 Eastern. Plus, hear live matches from the USL, MLS, English Premier League, and more, all on Sirius XM FC 157 and the SXM app at Sirius XM. Johnson, the 16-year-old on the turn. Left-footed delivery. And that was sent out of trouble by a diving David Garcia. Johnson has been bright after some rough moments in the midfield near the end of the first half. Well, I asked the proverbial question, who 10v10 is better than North Carolina FC? And right on cue, Union Omaha says, well, Ken Levicka, in the last 8 matches, we've put 18 points in the table just like North Carolina. And they get a Steinwasser goal in the 10th minute. Union Omaha at home, a 1-0 advantage over Chattanooga Red Wolves. Nearing halftime in Statesboro, forward Madison 2, Tormenta 1. Onan for forward Madison, scoring in the 26th minute to give the Mingos the advantage. He is the defending USL League One Player of the Week and making a case for a Week 22 award as well. Up the near side. And it's crossed right to Thompson off the left foot of Hornsby. Now, North Carolina right now looks like they are in cruise mode. They just fundamentally break you down. They'll let you have possession, and then they will outclass you, and that's what has occurred tonight here at City Stadium. Second meeting in 10 days between these two sides, same location. And North Carolina, for now, looks like lessons learned from last time against this side, where they allowed Richmond back into the match, allowed a 96th minute equalizer. You just wonder where even a first goal is coming from Richmond. Now Richmond's having trouble getting it out of the defensive half. Terzaghi, who has been extremely quiet tonight, he did put a shot on goal off a deflected free kick. But other than that, there has not been a lot of Emiliano Terzaghi, who scored last time out against North Carolina. Cervania is going to be shown a card.
Yellow card to NCFC.
He decides it's not worth protesting, gives the thumbs up, and owns it. He grabbed the shirt of Vignoles. That's a pretty easy decision there for Gabriel Ciampi. Now, North Carolina fans will not be completely satisfied, but will feel at least a bit at ease after that second Olex Anderson goal of the night. Could certainly make the case it should have been 2-0 in the first half. Gustavo Fernandez had a goal wiped out due to an onside or an offside that we had trouble really identifying who was offside on a corner from Cervania that found Fernandez just a few minutes after that same scenario had produced a goal for Olex Anderson. So if North Carolina fans felt like that was them being done poorly, now there's a second goal. That's not a goal because there was a big collision on the near side. You see Maldonado clutching at his face, and a yellow is shown to Joao Gamero. And it happened just a bit outside of our shot there, but Gamero, it looked like an inadvertent flailing arm that caught the head of Mikey Maldonado. So Gamero is booked. Now we'll have a better look at this here. Yeah, it was a forearm to the chin. That's a rightful yellow. Gamero was trying to shield Maldonado off. He definitely was purposeful to make contact with Maldonado. Not sure that Gamero was trying to purposely hit Maldonado in the face there. They were jousting, they were battling, and I think Maldonado, forget the face, I think he took an eye poke. I think that's his biggest issue and what he's struggling with here. Some rinsing out his eyes, trying to get some of the sting out of it. Now it looks like Maldonado is good enough to go. The referees have had their mics malfunction, and so they're having to get face-to-face to communicate. So that's why you've seen a couple of times them in an unconventional manner have to huddle up. Makes you appreciate the greatness of modern technology when you don't have it. Olex Anderson, he accounts for both goals tonight. He's the reason North Carolina is on top 2-0. Assists for North Carolina, Cervania on the first off a corner, and then Mensingen run of play. First half and second half respectively. Can Richmond provide a bit of drama, pull one back, and at least make North Carolina think about 10 days ago when Richmond shocked them in the 96th minute? North Carolina in great shape to push its unbeaten streak to 10 in a row. Now it'd be 6 victories in that 10-match stretch. That is getting it done. corner on the way here for Richmond kickers. Hustling over is Nil Vignoles. Phenomenal veteran, only 26 years of age. Vignoles delivers. That was a dangerous looking ball. Covered well. Pop back into the area. Johnson. And he's able to at least fight to win a throw-in. We're going to start seeing some substitute movement here fairly soon, I would imagine. Johnson looks like he's cramping up a bit.
The three-notched Uncool Happy Hour featuring $4 non-alcoholic hazy IPA starts at the 70th minute. Visit one of the three-notched locations on the concourse to enjoy.
Lonnie. A running delivery. And it's punched away by Thompson. He's been so solid. This is whipped in and headed away. Can Richmond continue to poke and prod and break down North Carolina, who's looking very comfortable defensively still? Sierakowski, step over. That cross is denied. Now Hornsby gives it a shot. That's brought down and cleared away. Richmond having to settle for an attacking third throw-in. Richmond, though, is continuing to possess the ball. They had a large possession advantage in the first half. This has been more of the same, a lot of possession, which you need, but not a ton of dangerous opportunities. Another launch from Awney. That's headed away. Awney comes flying in, delivered to the middle, and now it's chaos in a fight for it, and finally won back by Richmond. Boy, there are bodies flying all over the place. This is the desperation we've been looking for all night from Richmond. Sierakowski now to Hornsby. Hornsby 1v1 and a corner. This is better from Richmond, but you wonder where was this type of surging urgency in the opening 45. Vignoles to the middle, and Awney sent it skyward and wide. City Stadium's been brought alive with Richmond's surge here, attempting to get back in the match. And now they protest. City Stadium built in 1929. It has actually hosted the U.S. men's national team on 2 different occasions. One of them, a World Cup qualifier against Trinidad and Tobago, a victory. One, a friendly against New Zealand, a victory. It's also the former home of the University of Richmond football program before they moved to an on-campus stadium. You know, Johnson, who is having issues with a lower leg earlier that we pointed out, is going to limp off, and I would imagine that that's probably going to be the end of his night. As we approach the 71st minute, 16-year-old has put in good work tonight in his first start in a Richmond Kickers shirt. And it does seem like he's taking the long walk off the pitch, and Luke Pavone is indeed going to take him off. Looks like Chandler O'Dwyer is about to come on as well. So Chandler O'Dwyer will take Joao Gamero. off the pitch. 2 substitutions for Darren Sawatsky.
Entering for Richmond, number 27, Chandler O'Dwyer.
Luke Pavone enters the attack. Chandler O'Dwyer will join the fray as Richmond looks for anything to spark them. Cervania is wrestled down, and he's the one who has the whistle delivered to him. And now it's off to the races for the men in gray. I know that some of you viewing probably a little bit crossed up by the fact that Richmond's playing at home and they're not the side wearing red. Initially, a little bit of a violation to the senses if you're a regular consumer of USL League One. How is Richmond not the side wearing red at City Stadium? But you get used to it. Attempt to lay it off, and it's won back by North Carolina. And now Mensingen is chugging his way up the pitch. This is going to be a card, and there it is, as predicted. I mean, Moran was flailing and flopping and desperate, and all he could do to keep Mensingen from stopping his surge down this natural surface was to stick out the legs. That face says it all for Zaka Moran. That is a perfect encapsulation of the frustrations of this proud Richmond Kickers franchise here in 2023. Richmond will go to Lexington Sporting Club next Saturday, a Lexington side that is significantly better at home than they are away in their inaugural USL League One campaign. Christian Lou Young to throw in for North Carolina. John Bradford admitted earlier this week that, yes, it was announced last week we're going to the USL Championship, but we've known for quite some time that it was a likely possibility. Anderson tried to lay it off the top of the box, and here comes Richmond. But John Bradford admitted, yes, a lot of these signings in the offseason were made, and a lot of our evaluation right now, while the priority is a championship, is to make sure that we have the right pieces to be competitive right away in the USL Championship. Preparing to go back to the championship and preparing to win a USL League One championship. Some multitasking happening and some very, very impressive, proficient multitasking for John Bradford and this North Carolina FC franchise. And again, there is the... We've just been informed that Gabriel Ciampi, he is suffering from knee pain, so he's asked for ice. Look at that right knee. He's pointing to either side of that joint. And so, does injury time apply to the referee? Now, I appreciate Gabriel Ciampi trying to tough this out, but I'm not sure what 6.5 seconds of ice applied to the knee is going to do for the pain, and I'm assuming swelling that is causing that pain. So we'll see how this plays out. There are protocols in place if a head referee needs to come off, a rotation that occurs. So while we sort out a referee's knee issue, North Carolina is going to tap into its substitutes for the first time. Luis Arriaga will take Jadon Cervania off, an unsung hero Cervania of this one here tonight. A sensational night for the 21-year-old. He'll get a well-deserved handshake from his manager, John Bradford. Now, here's my question as well. Surely, as Christian Lou Young delivers to the back post, it found its way all the way through without being touched. Surely one of the head trainers has that hot and cold numbing spray. It's a soccer staple. Very acrobatic move there from Simon Fitch to nutmeg himself to avoid conceding a corner. I just feel like that spray might be a better option for our injured referee than the ice bag for a 5 count. But I also don't know much about these things, which is why I stick to commentating the game and not contributing medical advice. Getting late here for Richmond, and Garrett McLaughlin is still laying out to try and force turnovers in the opposite area with a 2-0 lead. I mean, this effort is why North Carolina is where it is in the table, and that's first. Just relentless. Barnathan on to Hornsby. That's wiped out by Garcia. Garcia a little bit loose on that attempt to clear. He mishit it, and Richmond will be handed a corner. It was well developed there by Richmond, and here's Hornsby. High into the air, high over the net. Nothing doing for Dakota Barnathan, who comes up a bit gimpy after that header. Take a look and see what happened to Barnathan here. Yeah, he came down awkwardly. I don't believe he stepped on a foot. I think he just came down uncomfortably on this natural surface. Our referee, Gabriel Ciampi, looks to be moving okay on that ailing right knee. In case Ciampi can't make it the full 90, Hillis Waddell III, Sunyika Kahinde, and Stephanie McFarland are the other referees. McFarland, the fourth official. And the rotation would happen. Here's a right-footed shot. Beautiful save by Fitzgerald. North Carolina's looking for 3. Here's Mensingen. Low cross. Rattles around in front. Long blast! Oh, it's a cannon shot from Mikey Maldonado. That is spectacular. Go ahead and give him the goal of the week. 3-0 North Carolina.
first minute.
My goodness! That had a vapor trail off the back of it. Bam! From 25 yards out, never a doubt. And it's the ultimate exclamation point to another impressive North Carolina victory.
Richmond substitutions. Departing the match.
Maldonado with his first goal of the year. Look at that smile. That is one heck of a lead foot to tally your first goal of the season. Now it's time to unload the bench. If you're Darren Sawatsky, got to keep guys fresh because now things are about to get real, real tight. You need all points all the time if you're Richmond, coming up empty tonight. Matthew Bentley has taken Emiliano Terzaghi off. For North Carolina, it'll be DJ Benton giving Garrett McLaughlin the rest of the night off.
North Carolina FC substitution.
Also for Richmond,
Departing match number 19, Garrett McLaughlin. Entering game number 18,
it's going to be Howell on for Sierakowski.
In the 83rd minute.
And we get a look at DJ Benton. Goals tonight for North Carolina. Olex Anderson, he has 2 of them. Mikey Maldonado with a goal as well. This is blasted away from the top of the box. Brooks Thompson is looking for his first clean sheet. He hasn't had to do a ton of work tonight. He made a save on Emiliano Terzaghi off a set piece. And he's just made right decisions all night long, been very under control. And what's wild about North Carolina and their ascension to the top of the table is that they've done so without the benefit, largely, of clean sheets. Coming into tonight, only 4 teams had fewer clean sheets on the year than North Carolina FC. It was Lexington, Tormenta, Chattanooga, and Fuego. All sides outside of the playoff picture, while North Carolina is in their clean sheet neighborhood, and they sit well above them all the way at the USL League One peak. So it's a clean sheet so close. Brooks Thompson can taste it, but perhaps he's going to be tested here. Vinyals. At the last moment, Christian Liu Young spun around and made contact with the heel, and it's going to be a corner. Vinyals still working hard despite the fact his team is on the wrong end of 3-0, and that clearly was off Vinyals. If the corner was awarded, that ball is a good 8 inches outside the corner area. And there goes the clean sheet. Richmond has scored. Simon Fitch off the corner. And Richmond has pulled one back. It's 3-1 in the 86th minute. The first goal of the year for Simon Fitch. Fitch timed it well, and he plants it. And the announcer jinx is not a thing, but I certainly have lent some fuel to the conspiracy theory. That's the first goal of the season for Fitch, the VCU product. Neil Vignoles, his 4th assist of the season for Richmond. In 3 matches between these two sides this year, almost 3 full matches, 13 goals combined. And it has been a scoring fest when these two clubs have faced one another. This is sent into the middle of the area. You don't want North Carolina, if you're an NCFC fan, to get a little loose here. Bonnie is going to track this down. And Fitzgerald pushes it on out of his goal. Richmond back into the attacking half. That's a good ball. This is on to Bentley. Bentley held up in traffic. And a throw-in for Richmond. Max Flick is going to come on for North Carolina. So Flick will come on for Rafa Mensingen and Preston Pop. Here you get a look at him. The number 88 on his left thigh. He'll make an appearance for North Carolina FC tonight as well. John Bradford trying to bleed out the clock. Olex Anderson will take a seat after his brace. Goals number 12 and 13 on the year. Throwing into the box. North Carolina handled that without much drama. There's Blanco. Was able to club it away. Now Richmond in long ball and chase mode. Oh, this is well put. And desperate defending by David Garcia as he denied Bentley an open shot at goal. North Carolina laying out to protect the young goalkeeper in some tenuous moments. Bentley tried to poke it in on Thompson, and a diving save before it could get to the goalkeeper. Now the corner back post swiped away by Thompson. And Richmond is winning every ball now. And that towed to the top of the box. Retrieved by Vignoles. Vignoles the assist on the lone Richmond goal just moments ago off a corner scored by Fitch. Broken up by NCFC. We have a lot of added time. 6 minutes the indication. Some of that the knee injury to the referee, Gabriel Ciampi. He has stayed on despite a knee concern that led him to requesting an ice bag at one point in this second half. Bentley on the ball. He's been active since substituting on, taking off Terzaghi. Beckett-Howell was not going to be able to get to that. And Brooks Thompson will take his time before he puts this back in play. Make sure he handles his hydration needs before he places the ball. Richmond has as many victories on the road as they do at home this season. The poor home results. It is no longer fleeting. It is the identity of Richmond Kickers in 2023. High into the air. Oh, Thompson had to flail and flick it as it was heading towards the back post. That had a ton of spin on it, and Thompson didn't know if that potentially was going to be on target. I don't think it was quite on target, but it certainly was close enough where Thompson had to make a play. Man, is Vigneault's dangerous. Near post delivery off the corner, headed away cleanly. Still 4 long minutes left. That sails out of play. North Carolina is home next weekend against Northern Colorado. As we mentioned earlier, Richmond is at Lexington. And another number that is wild about Richmond at home this season, they've only had 2 home halftime leads all year long. Only 2. That's 12 home matches. 2 out of 12 times this season, the home fans have enjoyed a halftime lead here at City Stadium in 2023 against the side that a year ago won the regular season championship in USL League One. That shows you this league, never a dull moment, tons of parity. You just never know. North Carolina finished last. They're at the top of the table a season later. Richmond won the regular season title a year ago. And here they are, trying to stay off of life support as playoff hopes every time they go out and continue to struggle to get points, make their task tougher and tougher to get to that 6th position. Tormentas open up a 4-2 advantage over forward Madison. That would be a significant result for Tormenta and put them 2 points off of the final playoff spot. Greenville result pending later tonight. Union Omaha has a 1-0 lead over Chattanooga Red Wolves. That's headed towards the top of the box, and then Bentley makes contact with it, and Richmond is awarded a corner. Vigneault quickly puts it back in play. The referee shuts that down. We'll see if Vigneault is going to deliver it now into the mixer, or if he is going to once again deliver it short. He is going to blast it to the front of Brooks Thompson's goal. Collected outside the area. Final moments of this one. Richmond has been unable to find a second. Is a fourth coming on the run. Here is Pop. Preston Pop wide. The save for Fitzgerald. He got a hand on it, 1v1. Pop is beside himself, clutching at his ankles. Can't believe that he was denied. It was Pop versus Fitzgerald, and Fitzgerald wins that battle. Pop did all the work, made the run, good touch, and Fitzgerald got a hand on it, and it trickles just wide. That would have been the first time all year that North Carolina would have collected a fourth goal in a match, believe it or not. Maybe they still have a fourth goal in them. Flick earns a corner. This corner likely to be the final significant kick of the match. TJ Benton, unhappy. About what? Not sure. He's going to start boxing out in the corner. The referee blows the match dead. A complete dominant performance by North Carolina. That's been said several times this season. It's the 7th road victory for North Carolina FC this season. It's the 2nd win for North Carolina over Richmond in 2023. And it's 10 unbeaten for North Carolina. A brace for Olex Anderson, a spectacular blast for Mikey Maldonado, and it's a 3-1 North Carolina FC win over Richmond Kickers. The Kiter CPA man of the match, Nil Vignoles. He had the assist on the lone Richmond Kickers goal on a late second half corner, but it wasn't enough, as North Carolina had put the match away well before that. Olex Anderson, a first and second half goal. And North Carolina, for the moment, is 7 points clear. Though in real time it's 4 points because of Union Omaha's 1-0 lead currently against Chattanooga Red Wolves. Here's the save of the match. Akira Fitzgerald on the denial in the second half, as he sprawls to his left and is able to fight that off. The impossible pump save of the match. Akira Fitzgerald, it comes in the second half. There's Mikey Maldonado. He had the 3rd goal of the match for North Carolina FC. It came from 25 yards out. It was phenomenal. 3-1 the final. North Carolina, it's their 6th in the last 10. A 3-1 final. We'll come back, rest of the postgame after this. It's USL League One on ESPN+.
For the support of the many people within the Richmond community. To me, we're working as a team to enhance the quality of life for all residents.
It's about being the best that you can be. It's about enriching the lives of people in your community. There's a reason why we have the tagline Nourish, because it's really about nourishing the lives of the people that work for us and the people that we serve. That's what the UCrops brand stands for.
Health. Suddenly that word seems more important these days, as it's consumed all aspects of our lives and made our universes feel smaller than ever. But at Bon Secours, your health has always been our top priority, and we're staying as committed as always to personalizing the right care for you. Because whether here or from home, we believe your health care should always revolve around you. Bon Secours, primary care for the universe of you. Visit bonsecours.com/primary care to connect with the provider today.
Hi, I'm Megan Mack, president of Prospect Blue.
And I'm Jess Barnes, Director of Business Development at Prospect Blue.
Prospect Blue is a staffing and recruiting firm headquartered right here in Richmond, Virginia. We serve the Mid-Atlantic region and beyond.
With the labor market experiencing historic shortages, Prospect Blue is here to help companies attract and retain key talent.
With strong relationships in the corporate, financial, legal, and medical fields, we are in a unique position to connect employers with job seekers.
Full-time highlights brought to you by the Richmond Times-Dispatch. In the 16th minute, it was Olex Anderson. We'll hear from him again. A header off a gorgeous corner from Jaden Cervania, and it was 1-0. Richmond would have a great free kick opportunity late in the first half. A handball just outside the box, and Vignoles saw it squeak through the wall. Terzaghi got a toe on it. Usually he plants that, but not enough to beat Thompson. It will remain 1-0. Off of a corner opportunity, or earning a corner opportunity, was North Carolina FC. Another pristine delivery from Cervania. How about pristine delivery from Rafa Mensingen? On to Anderson again. Mensingen to Anderson. Look at this tough angle. And it takes a carom off Ani. It beats Fitzgerald. That was 2-0 at that point. Then Mikey Maldonado, his first goal of the season. He gave that a ride. An absolute rocket. 25 yards out. Fitzgerald, he was never going to get a hand on that. Probably better for his physical well-being to not get a touch on that. It was 3-0. Richmond would pull one back. The hometown kid, Simon Fitch, off the corner, made it 3-1. That was the scoring here tonight. Here are your full-time stats. Richmond Times-Dispatch also brings those to you. The possession 62-38 in favor of Richmond. It was 3 yellow cards for North Carolina tonight. Well, North Carolina comes in and they do what they've done all season. They dominate, they get the job done. A 3-1 victory over Richmond Kickers. Want to thank executive producer Brady Kajawa and his entire staff tonight. I'm Ken Levicka. Your final score for a final time, North Carolina 3, Richmond Kickers 1. This has been USL League One on ESPN+.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League League One cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League League One.